This is Conversations with Kenny. I am having the pleasure to sit with Miss Roche. If you haven't heard of her, she's a very talented young lady, from acting to songwriting to screenplays. She probably writes plays, everything that she does. I probably sit here hours and hours and name it all, but I'm just gonna shut up and let her introduce herself. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Kenny? Thank you for having me on Conversations with Kenny.
I'm doing great. Thank you for sharing a little bit of your time. So let's get right into it. Give the people a little bit of your history. What do people need to know about Roche?
All right. So the first thing you need to know is I am a mother. By me being a mother, I had an interest in filming a day in the life of myself and my son, Roshan. So Roshan plays a big part in all the things that I do, because when I first started getting into filming and then eventually into script writing, it was all, because of my son. And we now also, we do a podcast together. It's called Roche and Roshan, Roll and Roll, Rolling with the Rolls. So I'm a filmmaker, I write, I direct, I produce, I cast people. I'm also a union actress. I do voiceover work, and right now I'm in school. I'm actually taking 2 different programs. The first one is Illinois Media School, where I'm learning to edit as well as do audio recording. And I'm also attending Triton College doing medical billing and coding. And as you know, right now, media did not stop. A lot of people lost their jobs, but the media, we still have to report stories. We still have to go out, do the editing, get all the footage, do research. And the medical field, again, that's another industry that has, pretty much been going nonstop. So pretty busy.
Absolutely.
Blessed.
Man, that's wonderful. So what inspired you to, I've seen you on different roles as far as acting, playwriting. What inspires you to keep going?
I think when you're able to tell your story, it kind of made me want to do more. I've always been a fan of television shows and great movies and great stories in general. But when you're able to actually get a pen, pad, type in whatever you want to type in from page 1 to page 200, and then you're able to invite like-minded individuals that you know. Because when I first did my first project, it was #PinkPennies. And I already had people in mind who I wanted to be a part of it. So once we all sat down and did a table read, that was it. That was my love, seeing them understand the characters, seeing them like the characters, seeing them telling me I need to write more, what's going to happen after this scene. So it's just been a blessing to be able to create things as well as show people what you created.
Man, that's exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I definitely can relate with you 100%. Now,
Yes.
All of the projects that you've worked on, what would you consider your favorite out of your body of work?
Ooh, now you're making me really, really think. I think, for sure, Roche, Single Mom on the Rise. That was the start of learning all the behind the scenes things. It took me from watching shows and being a fan to actually making sure that all the pieces fit together. So Roche, Single Mom on the Rise, we did that about 2 years. So that's what I think I really appreciate the most, because I was able to learn and grow from it, and then create more great things from doing those episodes, which is on YouTube and on my website.
And what's your website where people can find you?
It is www.rochechitown.com. So RocheChitown.com.
All right. Now, you mentioned the episode or the show's Single Mom on the Rise. What kind of advice could you give to single mothers today out here trying to make it?
Don't give up. Nobody's perfect. We are going to make mistakes. There's going to be trials and tribulations, but at the end of the day, keep pressing, keep moving forward, keep praying, and just keep going, because there's so much more that we have to offer and to give. And if you give up and be afraid and don't do it, the world will never know. So my advice for you single moms, I love you all. So just keep going forward. Do not be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to cry sometimes if you feel like crying or screaming or whatever you need to do. Do it, but just keep going. Keep moving forward.
That's one thing I can say about you. You've always been a pillar of strength and a wonderful person to be around. Great energy, great personality. What would you say would be your dream project? If you had to pick one project that you said, I want to work with this actor, I want to work with this musician, or besides being on Conversation with Kenny, what would you
Right. That's one I could check off the bucket list, being on Conversations with Kenny. One of my dream people, and it's very interesting and funny that she asked that, is because when I first started working, I won't say accidentally, because it was a true blessing. I was in Chicago, because I moved around a lot. I've lived in Chicago, I lived in Georgia, Florida, California, and South Carolina. But let me go back to what really started me wanting to be in acting. The Chicago Sun-Times had an ad in the paper. They wanted people who can be high school students. So I took some pictures, uploaded them, emailed them. I received the email back saying, okay, yes, we want you to work on this project. So this particular project was filming at Lucy Flowers High School, which is on the west side of Chicago, which is where I'm from, the west side, the best side. So I show up, give them my name, and we're in this high school. There's students all over the place, just they're placing people here. You're in the cafeteria, you're gonna be in a hallway. I remember one day I was on the set. Someone walked over to me and they're like, hey, what's your name? I said, Roche. So they're like, come follow me. So I walk with this person and they take me near a locker. So I'm standing by the locker. About 2 minutes later, another young lady, they bring her over and she's standing by me. So we're just standing there, just kind of talking a little bit, not really knowing what's going on. So we're just standing there. 5 minutes into us just kind of standing there, minding our business, Kerry Washington walks over to me. And it's crazy because her hair was like this, because to Save the Last Dance, she had her natural hair. She walks up and she goes, thank you, beautiful. And I'm like, you're welcome. Because I don't know what I did. I was like, hey, thank you. Well, you're welcome. Then they're like, hey, Roche, come here. So I walked back over to where, the director was, and he's like, okay, so you're going to be a stand-in. And I'm like, stand-in what? They're like, you're going to be a stand-in for Kerry Washington. I'm like, what does that mean? I was green. I didn't know what that meant. So that is one wonderful lady. She's super talented, very nice. I would love to be able to work on a project with Kerry Washington. And then not only is she a beautiful, nice actress and worker, she's a political advocate. She's just a wonderful person.
So what would you give to any inspiring young lady that wants to get into the field of acting or entertainment in general?
Okay, study, research what it is that you want to do. Once you realize that you want to be an actress or in the industry, find a person that's already doing it and that is successful doing it. Reach out to them or look at interviews or read articles about, what it took for them to get to where they are. Because once you do that, you're going to learn, because iron sharpens iron. So the main thing is do your research, learn all about it. You want to really make sure that this is something that you want to do. So do your research, learn about it. Once you learn about it, just take the necessary steps to get to where you want to go. And don't be afraid to start at the bottom. Don't be afraid, if you're an actress, don't be afraid to do background, because if you're doing background, guess what? you're doing background, but you're in with all of the major players. You're in with the producer, director, the talent, the crew. So you're learning so much, and just take advantage of every second that you're in that field. Be a sponge, soak up all of it, be professional, be polite, and just follow directions. That's it.
Now, I often ask this question and I get various amount of responses or different types of responses. And what do you consider success?
I consider success, first you have to be your mind. You have to have a peace, pleasure, whatever you're passionate about. If you're able to do any of those things, and it's not so much as money and it's not fame, it's just about you being content with whatever it is that you're choosing to make your career. So to me, that's success. And once you find out or tap into what that is, just continue to move upward in whatever that element is.
Beautiful. So with that being said, what can we see you in the future? I know in the past I've saw you on some shows, and I just be sitting back watching TV, and I be like, hold on, wait a minute, is that Roche? It is Roche. Let me rewind this and make sure that's my friend, and you know, just excited for you. And I genuinely get excited when I see people doing great things.
It's inspiring. It's very inspiring.
It is, and that's kind of what inspired me to put this podcast together. And I started to get a list of people that I wanted to talk to, and I said, you know what? I got some wonderful friends, so this is going to be really easy to get going because I know some wonderful people that's doing some great things. So what can we see you on next? What's the next project coming up? What can we be on the lookout for?
The next thing is The Chi. If you watch The Chi on Showtime, I am in an episode opposite, I'm not going to tell you, so you just have to watch it, but I'm in an upcoming episode, which we filmed back in October. Okay. So you'll definitely see me on the screen. I have a little teeny beeny, little small role, but I'm so excited to have, been able to do that. Also, there's a couple of independent projects that's been filmed here in Chicago. Cutting It Close is one of them. Another one is The Auditor. I wasn't in front of the camera, but I helped direct that. I also did a Potawatomi commercial. It's a casino commercial, so I'm also in that as well.
You're keeping yourself pretty busy. I love it. I'm gonna have to take some of your pointers, and maybe down the line we can get you back on Conversations with Kenny. Man, it's been wonderful. Every time I see you, it's always a great time. You've been an inspiration to me in my career in entertainment. So I just wish you nothing but the best. Hey, tell Roshan stop growing, man. Last time it's getting kind of tall. So
I know. And I thank you so much for having me, because you have always been a stand-up dude. You have always gave me wisdom whenever I see you. You not only are you great at the entertainment thing, but the business, and that's one thing we all need to know. We have to know about our accounting, our business affairs, contracts, all of that. So thank you so much. You have been a tremendous blessing for me as well with the paperwork and all that stuff.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. I appreciate you, and you keep me in an inspiration. And just remember, if we could do it all, it'll be done at once. But
that's right.
Each one teach one, and as long as you're teaching somebody else what you do, we can pass the torch and create a stronger community. That's what this is about. I've always been a complete advocate, because as a dad, I got boys to raise. I got a daughter who looks up to me for wisdom and guidance, and that's why I do this. So, again, thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for your time. I give you a big shout out on everything I do. Thank you for participating. I can't be I don't want to sound so gracious and humble, but you always been one of the great people to me, and I look forward to seeing your next projects. And when I'm watching TV, if you pop up on the show again, it's scream at the TV like I always do.
I feel it. I feel all that love. And for everyone, follow me on Roche Chitown, Roche Chitown. All my social media outlets, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, everything is Roche Chitown.
All right, and we can still find some of your older projects too, so we can catch up on your work. Once people see the new stuff that you're doing, they're gonna want to go back and check out the history and get all the old stuff too. So,
oh my gosh, yes, absolutely.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, look, you stay safe. I know that you're pretty busy, so I do appreciate your time again. It's been great having you on Conversations with Kenny.
Thank you. I'm going to subscribe to everything that you're doing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All right.
Blessings.